My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to the channel. What you are about to hear is something that I recorded several years ago. Happened to originally see it on Facebook. Someone had copied and pasted it, but there was no reference as to who the work came from. I have now found the author of this work. It's a channeled piece by a fellow named Zingdad, and he was channeling an entity named Adamu. And this is the Starseed contract. And you can find it. I will be putting a link in the show more section of this video so that you can go there and read much more about Zingdad and the being that he channels called Adamu. And there's a little bit in this before we actually get to the Starseed contract. He's written a couple of books, and his site seems pretty huge, so I encourage you to go to zingdad.com, and that's Z as in zebra, INGDAD.com. And it begins here, my dear friends, I am Adamu of the monadic entity of the Pleiadian civilization, speaking to you once again through my scribe, Zingdad. Today, I wish to speak directly to the starseeds of planet Earth. But even if you do not think it possible that you yourself are a starseed, I invite you, nonetheless, to read this release. I think that anyone with an open mind will find value in it. So, my dear starseeds, I have so much to share with you in this update, so many points to touch upon in order to reach my final point. And that final point is an invitation to you to remember who you really are, so that you might step into your divine creative power, so that you might do as you intended before you were born into this present incarnation of yours, and so that you might participate in the creation of a golden new age of humanity. So there is much to say. The best place to begin is to tell you about the contract all starseeds signed before coming to Earth. All this information serves to trigger your deep memories of a place far away and a time many lifetimes ago, of who you were, of the courage and self-sacrifice that drove you to choose as you did, and of the commitments you made to yourself about how you would act, how you would help, and how you would heal yourself, how you would remember, and how you would heal others as you did. This is the Starseed contract. There are 6 components to the Starseed contract of which you, as a Starseed, need to be reminded. They are known as the invitation, the shattering, the repair, the gift giving, the return, and the dissolution. I shall discuss these components one by one. The invitation. As a starseed, you arose to self-awareness from the matrix of a planetary civilization elsewhere in this galaxy, such as upon the Pleiades, for example. After the dawning of your consciousness upon that, bear with me for a moment, I need to make this a little bit larger so that I can read it. You know, getting a little older. Okay. After the dawning of your consciousness upon that distant world, you evolved spiritually, raising yourself through the densities of consciousness through numerous incarnations upon your home planet. At some point, you would have come to be considered an advanced soul, ready to graduate from incarnation at the density of consciousness upon your home planet to the next higher density of consciousness. And then you would have been offered an invitation, an opportunity to give back to life a gift commensurate with all that you had received across your lifetimes. This is a rite of passage for all those who evolve along the service to other path. When you have received, you give back at least as much as you have received. There are many, many ways to give back at this juncture. One of these ways is to commit yourself to a starseed contract, to agree to leave the comfort and security of your soul family and spirit home, and to venture out and incarnate amongst a group utterly different to your own. In so doing, you commit to first lowering your consciousness to the vibratory level of the civilization you will be visiting. You cannot be yourself whilst there amongst them, to your previous states of consciousness. And that is the heart of the Starseed contract, that you will heal yourself to your previous state of awareness whilst there upon that alien planet and whilst living amongst those that alien culture. Perhaps you will not now intuitively understand what a vast gift you give in so doing. But you see, since all is one, what you do to yourself, you do to the other also. And if you do this work of self-healing upon a planet, you make available to others upon the planet the same healing path that you have walked. You don't even need to speak a word of it to a single other, just healing yourself whilst you are within their planetary consciousness grid is in itself a magnificent gift to their civilization. Of course, it is so that you are a loving, kind, good-hearted being by nature. If you find something worth sharing with others, you will seek to share it. If you can help, you will. If you can serve, you will. If you can teach, you will. If you can offer healing, you will. Such is your basic nature, having evolved to a high level in a service to other society. So you will not only heal yourself upon that alien planet, you will almost certainly also find yourself to be some kind of gift giver as you do so. Starseeds are a profound blessing wherever they go. And when you have concluded your process of returning yourself to your previous level of consciousness, and your incarnation upon that planet comes to a close, then you may return to your home soul group, having a triumphant and joyous reunion with them at the higher level of consciousness that you now inhabit. And so it is that you received an invitation. You were living amongst your soul family upon your home planet. Oh my, let's see, what was this before? Oh, I know what that is. That's this. I don't know why my phone went off now when I'm already in here. You were living amongst your soul family upon your home planet. You had reached a high point in your spiritual evolution. You were ready to move on to the next phase of your soul journey. And as you contemplated your great service, you were approached by a returning master. I shall tell you more about them in a little while, but a revered being of great wisdom and advancement approached you to let you know that you had been selected. If you were willing, you were found to be of the temperament and advancement to be suitable for the challenges and struggles of a starseed contract to one of the many evolving planets within this galaxy. After you agreed to this noble endeavor, a rigorous process of training and preparation began. You were told of the various planets in the galaxy that are in need of starseeds, planets whose planetary council had put out a call for contracts. And then you chose the destination for your great service. Earth is, at this time, quite a focal destination. It is the single biggest destination for Pleiadian starseeds. There are a number of reasons for this. One is the close familial relationship between Pleiadians and Earth humans. Another is the great need at this time upon the Earth. Also, there is the fact of the high degree of difficulty and challenge. Earth is, in fact, considered to be the very toughest assignment of all, and Pleiadians are by nature a brave lot. Some would say foolhardy. We are ever willing to give ourselves to the most challenging endeavors, but most of all, we are here in great numbers because of the critical importance to the entire galaxy that Earth's human population succeeds in the in situ ascension process that is being attempted here. This has never been done before, and if it succeeds, it will irrevocably alter galactic relations. It will end, once and for all, the interplanetary wars that have raged since the beginning of time. The reason Earth is so very crucial is complex, but I will explain it as simply as I can in a moment. Right now, I wish you to understand that this is a truly crucial mission of literally galactic importance. I cannot imagine a way in which you might give a greater service than a starseed contract upon planet Earth at this particular juncture. So many, many Pleiadians are here right now, serving out their great gift. Before coming here, contractors would have spent time under the tutelage of the aforementioned returning masters. These are beings who have already completed their starseed contract, ascended their consciousness upon their destination planet, and returned to teach what they know. You would be prepared, trained, and taught by the most respected of all returning masters, those that had returned from duty upon Earth. They would have told you what to expect. They would have impressed upon you the great difficulties inherent in this enterprise, the risk of becoming lost in that reality for many lifetimes, the shock of acculturation from the harmonious Pleiadian culture to the abrasive and aggressive Earth culture, the psychic noise upon the Earth that can drive you to the brink of insanity and disable your inherent spiritual abilities. The challenge of knowing that you are, quote, different from the Earth humans around, but not knowing why and not remembering your mission. The pain of isolation that most of you would experience as a result of incarnating, quote, alone amongst a sea of strangers. The pain of always being considered odd, strange, and even deranged for simply speaking and acting in a way that is right, good, and true for you. All of this and so much more would you have been apprised of in your briefing, and you would also have been told of the incredible wonders of the Earth, the natural beauty and diversity that is beyond parallel, for example. And then, duly prepared, you, the starseed contractor, would leave to commence your great service, the shattering. The most difficult part of the fulfillment of a starseed contract comes first. In order to lower one's spiritual vibration from the high fourth or fifth, perhaps even the sixth density at which you reside prior to the commencement of your contract, to the low third density at which you must enter your service upon the earth, you first need to go through a process called the shattering. The terms of each starseed's shattering are agreed to up front by the starseed with their spirit guides and returning masters on hand to advise them. In principle, one would have to have two experiences, one being a victim experience and the other being a perpetrator experience. But these would have to be sufficiently shocking to the starseed that they would cause a shattering of their belief in their own goodness and the goodness of others. In essence, the starseed's belief in their own inherent divinity and in the inherent divinity of all others is what is shattered. To cease to see yourself as part of the eternal oneness and to see oneself instead as a mere object of creation is the end goal. And with that, of course, to believe that all others around you are simply similarly just mortal, lost, powerless little creations. Without this shattering, you cannot lower your consciousness to the deep duality of the third density, the vibratory frequency of Earth. And if you do not lower your frequency, you cannot be born upon the earth as one of them, as an earth human. And so it is that you agreed to this. You agreed to and contracted for the shattering. To say that these experiences are traumatic is an understatement. But this is the only way to overlay a veneer of distrust and disconnect over the soul deep knowing that resides within the starseed's heart that all is love, that all is one, that all bear a spark of the divine within themselves. So the experience must, by its nature, be traumatic. Being brutalized by others, raped, tortured, abused, being burnt at the stake as a witch, being subjected to iterative atrocities as a soldier or as a civilian caught in a war, being buried alive, being rejected by your tribe to starve alone in the wilderness. These kinds of victimizing experiences are the first part of the shattering. A part that allows the starseed to believe that others are evil, wicked, not to be trusted, not worthy of love. And then, with their faith in others broken, the starseed will be willing to defend themselves against the other, to lash out at the other in self-defense. And so, usually, in a separate lifetime, starseeds also find themselves perpetrating abuse and cruelty upon others, using their natural gifts and powers to victimize others in their community, leading others astray for their own ego gratification, wreaking havoc, causing harm, and arriving at the end of that lifetime with sufficient evidence to come to a belief that they themselves are wicked and unworthy of love. And so the shattering is concluded. It might take as little as a lifetime or two, but usually a few more. But the point is that starseeds then find themselves inhabiting the same duality consciousness that everyone else exhibits at the third density upon Earth. Then they are ready for the next phase, the repair. At some point, when they are ready to hear it, Each starseed feels a call inside their hearts to remember, to reach beyond the trauma of the shattering for the transcendent awareness that brings healing, the truth of the oneness of all, the deeply held ancient teachings of their people, the vibration of their home planet. These things, along with contracted promptings and reminders, such as this very transmission, of course, all assist starseeds to actively engage their own healing. And so the repair begins. It is slow, patient work. There are no shortcuts and no quick fixes. But I will say that the core of the process is self-love. Self-love, which allows the starseed to find their heart connection again, to reach beyond the layer of hurt inflicted during the shattering to their deepest, most ancient knowing. I will do this process a profound disservice if I pretend that this is not both complicated and difficult. Healing yourself in a place of such dire confusion as the duality sub-reality is far from easy. Finding your heart connection in a place of such psychic noise is a mammoth task. But no starseed was ever promised that it would be easy. Quite the opposite. It is a challenge worthy of the bravest souls, and even the bravest are tested to their limits. Even the wisest and most spiritually connected can get lost in this place, sometimes wandering for tens, hundreds, or even thousands of lifetimes, in a state of deep amnesia and spiritual distress before they can be assisted to remember. It happens. But whatever the case, those who stay the course all eventually do awaken, heal themselves right to their previous vibratory level, and return home. The gift giving. Before we can speak of the return, I must first address the gift giving. You see, healing yourself is, in itself, already a wondrous gift. When you do, you work a pathway in consciousness that then becomes easier for others to follow. By healing yourself, you heal others without even trying. And as previously mentioned, most of you will, by default, also offer all kinds of wonderful and loving gifts to those who cohabit your reality, just because that is the kind of being you are. So it is so that when healed, when ready to return, it will be easy to argue that you will already have given your greatest gift to the earth and its inhabitants. But for many of you, this will not be enough. Many of you will step across the threshold, passing out of that life, and then soon after find yourself disappointed with yourself. Many of you will say something like, "Oh no, there was something really important that I wanted to do while I was still alive on earth. I could have done it. I was there. I had everything I needed to do it, but I didn't." Many of you will feel strongly enough about this that you will ask to return to incarnation. Some will return to that same incarnation. Others will begin a new incarnation, and yet others will have some alternative experience, such as being a quote walk-in, for example. But I don't wish to get bogged down in such details, as interesting as many of you will find them. The point is that I'm inviting you to already become aware of this issue so that you can think about it now. As you raise your consciousness and heal yourself, give some time now and again to the thought, what one thing would you love to do for this world? What message do you have to deliver to this world? What gift can you leave behind that will leave you feeling satisfied and complete when you walk away from here? When the repair and the gift giving is complete, the return begins. With the return, the doors to the galaxy and beyond are thrown open to you. After successfully returning from a starseed contract, especially a difficult contract deep in the densities of forgetting, such as upon Earth, you have endless options as to where you will go next. You have, no doubt, heard of the Ascended Masters. Well, you will join their ranks. And as such, you are deemed to be a useful and desirable co-creator in any one of a vast array of places in the galaxy, performing any one of a vast array of roles, just one of which is to play the role of returning master back upon your home planet, teaching, advising, and guiding the next generation of prospective candidate starseeds. Many ascended masters choose to remain involved with their adopted planetary culture, in this case, choosing to remain active as guides and teachers for souls incarnated here upon Earth. But given what the returning starseed has been through, given the deep self-knowledge, the profound compassion and wisdom they will by definition have attained, they are free to explore innumerable alternative options. Some like to take a sabbatical period in which they simply travel the galaxy as an emeritus starseed at large, visiting inhabited planets as their heart calls them to do, bringing their gifts and their wisdom wherever they are called, and then usually finding a situation that suits their particular interests and abilities, a place to call home for the next step in their evolution on the journey to oneness, the dissolution. But not every single starseed completes their contract. Most do. But there is always a number who, for various reasons, do not. As much as every starseed is coached and prepared prior to their mission, I don't think a single starseed has ever completed their mission without many times crying out for assistance, saying, "I didn't know how hard this would be." It is simply so that no amount of pre-mission coaching can fully prepare a soul for the shocks and rigors of first the shattering and then the long lifetimes of deep isolation that come from being amongst those who are not of your own soul family. For this reason, it is only fair that starseeds must be able to exit their contract. It must be possible for the starseed to say, "This is too much. I cannot go through with it." And indeed, there is provision made for such a situation. Into the life map of every incarnation of every starseed, a number of exit events are engineered. This matter is dealt with in some depth by my esteemed colleague, Master 8, a being who watches over all soul contracts in this reality. He speaks of this also through Zingdad in Book 1 of the Ascension Papers. This is a Zingdad note here next. It says, "Note, you are invited to download this book for free from the website." And as again, I will be putting a link to his website in the Show More section of this video. Here, Adamu is referring to the subheading Understanding Death in Chapter 8 of Book 1 of the Ascension Papers. While I do advise you to read that material to gain a fuller understanding, what I will offer you for now is the simple awareness that each life contains pre-planned moments in which you are removed from the flow of your life, taken to stand before your masters and guides, reminded of what you signed up for, reminded of the importance of what you are doing, and then asked to affirm that you would like to continue your mission. If you agree to continue, you are returned to that life stream at a suitable moment, perhaps sometime before the exit event. And this time you pass the exit event without being extracted, which means that you will have no memory of the extraction. You will continue your mission without interference. If you dissent and choose for the dissolution of your Starseed contract, then the exit event is fully enacted. The incarnation is terminated. To those who knew you in that life, it then appears that you died, perhaps in some type of accident or some health trauma. You are then given a gentle and loving debrief and returned to incarnation amongst your own people in your native star system, that you might return to your equilibrium and spiritual evolution. This is not seen as failure, and there is no ignominy inherent in taking an exit event. Much good would anyway have been accomplished by such a starseed prior to that exit. To avert confusion, I do wish to make it clear that no exit event is ever planned as suicide. I have no judgment of suicide, but suicide does cause massive trauma to loved ones who remain behind. For this reason, exit events are not planned in this way. Please do not read the above mentioned section of Zingdad's book if you require further understanding of this very sensitive subject. The special case. And so, I have just outlined for you what a starseed contract looks like. This is, in broad terms, what it is to be found in all starseed contracts, irrespective of where the contractor hails from. Aldebaran, Arcturus, the Pleiadians, Sirius. These and many other star systems regularly send starseeds out into the galaxy to do their good work. And starseeds have, across the ages, been incarnated into a vast range of other planets. Earth is but one of the many destinations that have been served, and upon the Earth, yours is but the latest of a succession of civilizations to engage in its own ascension of consciousness, and to therefore receive a contingent of star seeds. So I wish you, first of all, to understand that this is an ancient and widespread practice. And then I wish you, secondly, to understand that what occurs now upon the earth is also completely unique, very special, and utterly crucial to the welfare and advancement of consciousness of the entire galaxy. And here is where I shall pick up the narrative in my next transmission. In my next update, I will speak to the uniqueness of the situation upon planet Earth. I will tell you how the Earth's ascension is different from any other, and I will tell you why a successful ascension is utterly crucial to the well-being of the whole of the galaxy. It's all quite an interesting story. And I will leave it there for now on this. I really wanted to share with you that Starseed contract because, well, it made a lot of sense the first time I heard it. And I don't know, it just makes even more sense now. And so who knows, but it's certainly a possibility. It is also a plausibility. And in the world of all potentiality, it seems to me like it absolutely could be. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Please do go to zingdad.com, take a look around, see what all he has to offer there. And until we meet again, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. Until we meet again, my friends, be well.